Hello everybody and welcome back to what's new in Apple Arcade in the month of October. And weirdly, we've got 5 fantastic titles to talk about today, but none of them are Halloween themed. And something I've learned from studying and looking at what Apple released on the arcade, the games are always going to be timeless, hence why I don't think we're ever going to get some themed content like Christmas games or Halloween games. Now to start us off, we have an absolute classic coming to iPhone and iPad. Not only is this made by Mobility Ware, which is one of my favourite Apple Arcade developers, but they currently hold the #1 spot on Apple Arcade for the top game, which is Solitaire, which is definitely a double down here because they are releasing Spider Solitaire, which is a completely different game entirely, but was also going to appeal to probably the same fans. And that's really interesting because who knows, they might have #1 and #2 slot by the end of the month. There's nothing saying that people aren't going to download another Solitaire game. Now, Spider Solitaire is a Plus title, which means it is available without the Apple Arcade subscription, but may have microtransactions and advertisements. And I've actually seen that they sell a version for £4.49, I think it was, which is the standard version without the advertisements. But for the same price, you get that included in Apple Arcade with your subscription. Now this game has daily challenges, and with these daily challenges comes with themes for each month, which I think is really nice to keep the content nice and fresh. And this is made by Mobility Ware, and they are renowned for customization, so you can customize all the little details to how you play, to even to the design of the deck of cards that you use. This game isn't listed on how to teach you how to play, but what I find really interesting is the description does that for you, and I absolutely love that. It's like, here's how to play, download our game. However, there are 4 levels of difficulty and a button that is unlimited to allow you to undo any mistakes that you've made. So you can press that button and correct any mistake, and that is a learning tool in itself. So as much as it's not listed as a learning game, you may find that you will learn on the go from your own mistakes. Now, Mobility Ware, of course, are renowned for customization. They have also been renowned for really intriguing stats. So this game will give you statistics to help you understand your play in a really immersive way. It's also nice to see Mobility Ware have allowed us to play in either portrait or landscape modes depending on your preference of play, and this game will be available on iPhone and iPad. The second game to land on Apple Arcade in the month of October is another title from Mobility Ware, and they're keeping consistent with card games this month, as we've got Gin Rummy Classic Plus. This is another Plus title coming to Apple Arcade, where it's designed around those 52 cards that you get in a deck. And this is about deck building, and it's a 1v1 scenario. If you don't know about how to play Gin Rummy, don't worry, because this game is designed on how to teach you how to play. The game will teach you over loads of tutorials at your own pace, and when you feel confident to take on the AI, you can do that. Or if you're feeling super confident, there's even an option to play online against a friend or a foe. This game will be available on iPhone and iPad, and it's very exciting to see another card game come to Apple. The next title is no secret to Apple Arcade. Not only has the NBA franchise been on Apple Arcade before, this is 3 years on the trot now that they have released what I would class as the AAA title of the Apple Arcade. And this is a AAA title that I would say is being played on the world's smallest games console. This year's edition has some fairly new modes, and one of those is the greatest of all time mode, which grabs a ton of NBA legends and sticks them all on the court for you to play against. This exciting feature hasn't been in previous games, so it's very exciting to see something new come to the sports franchise. All the other features from previous games have reappeared on this edition, so that allows you to create a NBA star from being a rookie and taking it all the way to be the legend. And you don't have to play as yourself, the character is customizable in all the ways that you like. A lot of people will play as themselves to prove that they could one day be an NBA legend. Other modes are like Association Mode, where you become the GM and the head coach of an NBA team. You can pick any team from the NBA franchise, and you are tasked with scouting upcoming prospects, signing free agents, and controlling all the bits that go into an NBA team, including the finances. If career and management isn't your forte, then you can of course hit the multiplayer modes, whether you're going against a friend or someone on the Matched Makes PvP basketball mode. That's you versus another team to see who can come out on top. This of course is a very exciting title, and you know, this is what I think is going to bring a lot of players to Apple Arcade, and it's nice to see that it's keeping consistent with the yearly releases. It's something that is definitely going to keep users in Apple Arcade. And of course, this is available on all the devices, which is absolutely brilliant. You can play this on the Apple TV, where I think it's really going to shine. The next title to land on Apple Arcade is called The Gardens Between. This is a Plus title and is definitely going to be a great addition for anyone who likes adventure or puzzle titles. This game is available on iPhone and iPad and can be played in portrait and landscape orientation. You will fall into a world where you'll find two best friends who are in a very dreamy-like and very vibrant world. You will embark on a journey with them, and the way you play this game is you alter the way time works, and you can do it in any direction, and you can use this to help you solve those puzzles. I think this is the first game on Apple Arcade that is about time manipulation, but I'm definitely coming into this with welcoming arms. This game has already got great reviews and is currently sitting with a rating of 4.7, and like any adventure game on Apple Arcade, there is an ambient and relaxing soundtrack to help you escape into this world. As I mentioned, this game can be played in portrait and landscape, depending on, of course, the user's discretion, and can also be paired with a game controller, which I think is really cool that you can now have the choice between portrait and landscape games. I think people do have game preferences on what they like to play like, and I think it's really cool that game developers are thinking about this and allowing both orientations, which I think is quite a difficult task, but well done the developers for getting that in. And this game, of course, is available on iPhone and iPad. And the last game to come to Apple Arcade, and this one is an interesting one and probably the one I'm most excited for. For some reason Apple always do this, they stick the most exciting game they know I'm going to enjoy at the very end. And this one is called Stitch. It's a casual puzzle game where embroidery meets paint by numbers. And Stitch lets you create some of the most beautiful embroidered patterns of all difficulties and all sizes. It's an easy game to learn, but definitely one hard one to master. There's no games based on embroidery, however, this game is claiming to be the best of the best. It's got loads of things to do, from regular challenges to weekly challenges to even a free Stitch mode that allows you to pick any pattern from the game and just colour it in any way that you like, allowing you to express yourself in a world of fabric. This game prides itself on having great accessibility for users to enjoy the game Stitch, from reducing motion and enabling big numbers for visibility, which is a really good thing to see because it's allowing anyone to enjoy this game. Can we also mention that this game is available on Apple TV, which I think is pretty awesome, and as it's listed as a solo experience, there's nothing stopping you sitting down with a friend or a family member and playing this together. And one more thing to mention about this game, in the description the developers have put that World Embroidery Day is actually celebrated on the 30th of July every year. It's really nice to see that the developers obviously enjoy embroidery as well as making apps, as they're sort of sharing the awareness and getting more people to get into embroidery. And this game may do it. I've done it with Formula 1. I got into Formula 1 by playing the game, so why could you not get into an embroidery by playing an embroidery game? So yes, I'm very looking forward to Stitch, and it's the last game of Apple Arcade this month, and I feel like it's probably a very good candidate for me to rank it the highest in October, especially if it's anything like the Jigsaw game that was released a couple months ago, because I feel like these games really do bring out the creativity in users and allow us to just enjoy them for the full mindfulness that they are. So that is everything that is landing on Apple Arcade, a very wide range of titles, from card games to adventure games to a little bit of mindfulness stitching a puzzle together. Let us know in the comments what you think of the games and what you're most excited for, and of course keep your eyes peeled for the next big title, which will be landing very early in November, which is Football Manager. I'm not a football fan, but I'm very excited to try it out. I think that is another title, just like NBA, that is landing on Apple Arcade, which could potentially pull in a load of new fans. So thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you in another video.